Is it bad to upgrade your lifestyle? Here's the tricky part for me. Is it also kind of an investment? Hey y'all, it's your girl Funmi-Layo. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to like this video because it helps other people to see the video, and make sure to subscribe because we have awesome content on this channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about lifestyle creep. Yes, you guys, you probably have heard this term thrown around frequently. So let's just first off get into the definition of lifestyle creep. So Investopedia defines lifestyle creep as: lifestyle creep refers to the phenomenon where discretionary consumption increases on non-essential items as the standard of living improves. So with lifestyle creep, luxury goods and discretionary spending become perceived as a right to have and not a choice, as a necessity versus a want. So you guys, yes, I will say I definitely dealt with lifestyle creep last year. Like, let's talk about it. So, when you start earning more money, and especially when you start getting older, you start wanting to spend a little bit more on different things because you have the resources to do it. So it's like, I have the resources and allegedly this is supposed to be better. Like, this is a new experience. Like, let me just try it. Like, for instance, let's say normally you would get the $5 soap. Now you're buying the $30 soap. You used to get the $20 cream, and now you're getting the $50 medical grade skincare cream, So it's just like different stuff that you're getting that's supposed to be higher quality, but it's not necessarily a need versus like it's a want. But at the end of the day though, here's the tricky part for me, because how I look at it is that sometimes those things are investment. Like, for instance, sometimes when you're spending more on quality because you have the resources, it might last longer for you, or it might give you better results. So I do think like there are some pros in the lifestyle creep because you're using your resources ideally for things that are more expensive but could grant you like a better experience or a better result. But at the end of the day, it's like you're losing more money, you know what I mean? And you could definitely get the cheaper product and still be fine. So it's like a give and take. Like, even I would say for me last year, it definitely was like, heavily spending on like eating out and stuff like that. And I will say with the lifestyle creep, they were like better restaurants, So though I did kind of look at it as like, hey, this is an investment, not so much about in my palate and like eating good food, which I did enjoy, but like I'm also thinking along the lines of like I want to start doing reviews. And I was doing reviews, check me out on TikTok. So I was doing that, but it didn't have to be that many restaurants or that much food kind of thing. So there's like that give and take. But I do feel like with the whole lifestyle creep, and the whole general idea is like you're living a little bit more lavish a little bit, or just you're upgrading your lifestyle, right? But is it bad to upgrade your lifestyle? What would you say? Because if you're going through, I have to research it more, but like the Dave Ramsey method, like you're supposed to try to keep your costs as low as possible, at least from like what I've heard about it. I definitely want to encourage you guys to do your own research on Dave Ramsey and his methods. I found these 7 baby steps to becoming a millionaire on his website. When I'm usually hearing people speak about him, they're usually speaking about his methods in the context of like living on less and saving money and just cutting down expenses. But definitely we all have to do our own research to see what it's really about. And ideally, if you do want to build wealth and get rich and stuff like that, they do say to live below your means. But the quality of life, I guess the whole lifestyle creep debate becomes like, if you can have a better quality of life, why wouldn't you, kind of thing. But at the end of the day though, I will say, I absolutely realize like, definitely I've fallen into that lifestyle creep stuff and know like, okay, gotta, readjust and get back on like, saving more money and minding what I spend on and everything like that. But I will say that also with the lifestyle creep, you do notice that if you think about it, sometimes the portion, or let's say the percentage of your current income that you spend on a certain thing, if you just start making more income, you might be spending that same percentage, but it's just a larger amount of money now. It's an upgraded experience, but it's technically still on that same things. Because I do remember, I've always spent money on food. I always spend money on food, so it's a good a good thing to like get in the habit of like saving money food wise. Although I will say, when I went on like my health kick and I was like being super healthy, I kind of stopped. But then when I kind of, dove back into like eating bad, I really dove back in there, So I don't know. What do you guys think about that with the lifestyle creep? Because in a sense, when you are spending more and you are using your resources to maybe travel more or like experience new things, like, okay, I went on a helicopter ride, which was super cool. It was super scary, but it was super cool. But different type of experiences do open your mind up to like different things. Like, let's say if your lifestyle creep was getting memberships into some of these exclusive clubs or something like that, and that expands your network. Is that lifestyle creep or is that an investment? So I guess like with the whole lifestyle creep, when we're talking about upgrading our lifestyle based on wants versus needs, is it also kind of an investment in a way? Does it depend on what you're spending on? Because technically you can argue that anything does pose value and anything could really be an investment depending on how you look at it, right? So I don't know. The whole thing is kind of tricky to me because it can be beneficial in the sense of opening up your mind or making you want to work harder, work more. But don't get it confused. I definitely do think that when people say it's better to live below your means, that's better. Yeah, I'm definitely in agreement that is probably the better thing to do. Have I been doing that? No. What, y'all want me to lie? No, I haven't, But I do know that it seems that successful people, the people that really get up there, some of them, that's what they're doing, and that's how they're rising to the top. I want to join them. Me too. I want to see what it's like up there, and I do want to grow my like finances and really like, go places and everything. Yeah, but sometimes when you have access to more resources, you want to like see like, okay, well, let me enjoy a little bit. So I think it's probably like a balance, because at the end of the day, when you think about how much money that you spent in certain areas, or I'll call myself out, I'm like, oh my gosh, I definitely could have saved this or like invested that or da-da-da. So it's like the little things. Again, it's a creep. Like, it builds up. It's like a small gradual, but then when you reflect on it, or when I reflect on it, then I'm like, well, no, that could have been put towards here. That could have been put towards there. Even though your quality of life might be improved and you might figure out new interests that you have because you finally have access because of the resources you now have. So, there's that. But then the negatives are that when you upgrade your lifestyle and you add these additional expenses, even though you are reaping those positive benefits, you are spending more money, and then that becomes the norm for you, and then it only goes up and up and up and up. So if you never check it, you'll never realize like, hey, I need to regroup and get back on, or just reset in general to something that you were never doing, and just be more stricter with your finances and be more mindful about how you are using your money and about your money goals. And I think that's what it comes down to. I feel like with the whole lifestyle creep, you just gotta know your intentions. Like, what is your intention for your finances? And I feel like that could really be something that could be pivotal in the decisions that you make, where you might be like, yeah, I'll enjoy myself sometimes, but it's gonna stop you from enjoying yourself all the time, because you'll remember. Maybe if we put some sort of reminders on, maybe it's our phones or our laptops or just different things, or check in on our finances ever so often, just to make sure that we're on track to whatever goals that we might have. Because definitely at the end of the day, I do think it's about balance, and we do have a budget. Be mindful to try our best to stick to that budget, but just in general, still making sure that your quality of life is good though. I do think that you should have a good quality of life, but you don't need to necessarily be spending so much to have that good quality of life. But I still say, like, I don't know, that's why it's always a toss-up for me, because I do think you should be enjoying life. But again, the people who know what they're talking about, they're telling us that it's better to live below your means. So they know, they're there, they're where we want to be. They got the money, they've got the net worth. So it is something that I'm trying to be cautious on, the little ways that I allow lifestyle creep to come in. And I would say like some of the small ways for me were like, obviously with the food, for sure, better restaurants, eating better for sure, but eating better in terms of at nicer restaurants, but it wasn't always like the most healthy food. No. Another one was I spending more on convenience, like things that were convenient, like, oh, it's fine, it's more convenient, like I don't want it, So those are those small ways that it comes in. A couple too many DoorDashes or Uber Eats, you know, or you could have walked somewhere, you're Ubering, you're riding the Lyft, different things where it's just like, oh, this is more convenient, I'll pay the extra, I'll do, oh, it's fine, you know, but all those little things that they add up. But I am curious, have you dealt with lifestyle creep? Is that something that you've noticed that where you're like, whoa, I'm doing too much? If not, or if so, what is one thing though that you do think is a result of lifestyle creep, but that you will continue to like spend money on now? Or what is something that you have to chill out with or whatever? But just very curious as to how did things go for you guys before. I will say that for this year though, it's not gonna be like last year. it's not gonna be like last year at all. But in terms of you know, the spending on frivolous stuff, but and food, so I don't know. But yeah, I'm curious to hear what you guys' experiences are, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.